Welcome to Meadowbrook Memories Podcast. I am Jelly, otherwise known as Glacier Prince, and my co-host is Hitchcock, otherwise known as Alfred Henry. Our mission on this podcast series is to explore the stories behind the magic that was created at Meadowbrook. When over a span of 4 years, between 1982 and 1986, we saw the transformation of a small co-educational school with less than 1,200 students, 800 boys, 800 girls and 400 boys into a successful sports and scholastic champion, winning 7 major trophies, 3 Sunlight Cup, 2 Topping Cup, 1 Walker Cup, and 1 Nutriment Shield. And to crown these achievements, Meadowbrook also produced 2 Rhodes Scholars, Cavell Creighton in 1987 and Andrea Wright in 1989, both graduates of Meadowbrook in 1983. In this podcast series, we'll be speaking to persons, both males and female, who were actively involved in this incredible journey, along with friends and staff at Meadowbrook, which inspired the environment which created this golden era. We hope you enjoy our discussion. Please give us as much support and encouragement as you can on whatever social media platform you are listening. Welcome and thanks for joining us. All right, ready? Go. Today is Monday, September 12, 2022. I welcome back to another conversation about Meadowbrook memories. Me, as usual, Jelly, our Glacier, our Lance, our Prince. And by now, you know that any one of those names will do. Joining me as my co-host is my debating adversary from Meadowbrook. And an earlier guest on this conversation is the erudite Oral Shaw. Today we have 2 female guests, a head girl and a deputy head girl. The first of these 2 guests came to Meadowbrook in 1971 and left in 1980, and was a member of a family where 6 other sisters and brothers came to Meadowbrook before and after her. She was an excellent debater, won several debating trophies while at Meadowbrook. She also was my house captain for that great house Rodney, for which the school assembly hall was named after. She was an active member of the ISCF, Inter-Schools Christian Fellowship. Our next guest started in Meadowbrook the same year I started in 1974. She was also an active member of the ISCF, and she was an active member of the History Society under the leadership of Miss Beverly Blake, and this group had the distinction of interviewing the Reverend Henry Ward, the founder of Meadowbrook High School, which I want to dig into that interview. She and her good friend Andrea Markland joked about being head girl and deputy head girl by default because they were the only 2 girls in 6th form. I will get into that as well. But without further ado, let me introduce Paulette Samuels Brown and Eartha Bogie-Samuels. Paulette, you introduce yourself first.
Well, I'm happy to be here, Glacier, and it is as you said. I was at Meadowbrook for all those years and enjoyed my time there immensely. Best years of my life.
Good for all of you, some say it too. And Eartha, you introduce yourself.
Well, I came in 1974, and those years between 1st to 6th form were some of the best years. I have pleasant memories. I move among a group of fabulous people who have been my friends all these years, and I couldn't have done it without them.
Oh, good. And Mr. Shaw, Oral Shaw, reintroduce back yourself, my brother.
Thank you. Oral Shaw attended Meadowbrook over the years 1977 to 1983. And I've said here, and I will always say it, even in my previous interview, Meadowbrook High School was the institution that had a great impact on my life. And that is a big impact.
All right, good.
Well, happy to be here.
Yeah, man. Welcome. I'm glad all of you find the time for come and share the memories, and we're looking forward to this conversation. So, by now, and for now, Paulette, I'm going to start most of the questions start with you first. Since,
right.
As far as I know, you're the elder state citizen here.
That's right.
So the first question I ask anybody who come on this conversation is, did you choose Meadowbrook or Meadowbrook choose you?
I believe I chose Meadowbrook. It was like where all my siblings went, so I couldn't really see myself going somewhere else. It was like a family tradition for sure.
So expand on that, Paulette. From what year did your siblings, and name them out for us that we know exactly who they are? What was the first one who
Wow.
came to Meadowbrook?
The first one who came to Meadowbrook, I'm not sure if it's my oldest sister Merlene or my brother Don, but they are just like 2 years apart and they were there together. I can't tell you what years they came, but they are, like 10 years older than I am. So, they would have been there in the 60s for sure. And then followed by Douglas Samuels, who is now deceased, and he was there in the, I would say, late 60s, early 70s. He was a famous cadet, whatever the cadet leaders are called. And then Bert Samuels, well, Jacqueline Samuels, yeah, Bert, and then Jackie, and then myself, and then my brother Steve after that.
Okay, and you started in Meadowbrook in 1971.
Yes. So
Okay.
Steve and I were there together most of our years because we are also like a year and a half apart. And when we came, Bert and Jackie were on their way out. Yeah.
Yeah. I am familiar with Steve. I think Steve was a year ahead of me when I started Meadowbrook, and
Right.
Jackie was at Meadowbrook the same time my sister was at Meadowbrook, Claudette. So I think so. Yeah, good. So it was not choice then. The whole clan come Meadowbrook.
The whole clan come to Meadowbrook. Yes.
Okay. So
There's one little question just on the siblings. Paulette, you had another brother who almost made it in American politics recently.
Oh yeah, that's Don. He's a Meadowbrook graduate as well.
Okay.
Donald is what he would go by in Jamaica, but he's Don. Yeah, he's the first one that came to Meadowbrook, I believe.
Right. Okay.
So
Yeah.
it's more than 600 and Paul is about 7.
No, Don. I did say Don. I counted him.
Counted. Okay.
Okay. So he's the first one. Then Douglas, Bert, Jackie, Paulette, Steve.
Yes.
That's all I think.
So
yes.
Is that the record, or there's a family that has more brothers and sisters that came to Meadowbrook?
I don't think so. I don't think there is a family with as many. I could be wrong, but I don't think so.
Yeah, well, they will correct us if they hear us.
I am sure.
I would think so too, Paula. That's what I remember. The Samuels family it's like when it's going from Meadowbrook from its start until Stephen left Meadowbrook. Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And, I was hoping the grandchildren would come, but most of them, they all went to different schools. So
Okay. Yeah. That's a pity. That would have been a nice tradition.
Yeah, that would have been nice. Yeah.
So, Eartha, the same question to you, Did you choose Meadowbrook or Meadowbrook chose you?
Meadowbrook chose me.
Okay.
I did not. Meadowbrook was not on my list. I had Queens, Merle Grove I, and I don't remember who was my second choice. And the day of common entrance when it came out, Paulette?
No, I didn't speak.
No, go ahead.
The day when the exam results came out, I looked through all 3 schools, didn't see my name. I was just about to cry. I was about to start crying. And my mother said, no, here it is. Eartha's Bogie. The whole house went crazy because I'm 6 of 7 and I'm the only one who passed my common entrance.
Wow.
Yes. Wow. So there I am now going to Meadowbrook, and it was all divinely planned by God. It was all a part of his plan, and I will not question it, do not want to question it. That's where I belong.
So you had no idea what Meadowbrook was before you started, Eartha?
No idea. In fact, that morning I walked up to the school, when you had to go buy your uniform. I walked up there and I was lost. I didn't know where I was going. because I've never been up there.
And where you walking from? Where you live at the time?
We live at Red Hills Road, right across from, you know that road, Strudwick Avenue, in that area.
Okay.
Oh,
Yes.
that's off Mackville Terrace, is it? No, that's
It's
not
like
it.
It's like Casher Park and Red Hills Road, that little community.
Okay,
Oh, yeah, I
yes,
know you're
yes, yes.
talking. I know you're talking. A fair
It's
pass
just
over.
below Lee's. It's just below Lee's Food Fair on your right, going down.
Yeah.
Yes.
On your left. Yeah.
Yeah, near Dunrobin School then. Yeah.
Right across in primary, and
Yeah, I
yes.
know you're talking about across the community. I think it's Kasha Park it name. The community over there, so yeah.
Yes, it was a big community. It was between Red Hills Road and Casher Park. You can enter it from Casher Park or from that
Yeah.
bridge there.
So so far you walk go Meadowbrook for get the uniform from all this, so?
All of this. So yes.
You were so excited.
I was so excited.
I hear you. So Paulette, you didn't have that problem at all, because you must have known where Meadowbrook was, because all your brothers and sisters.
Absolutely. I'm pretty sure what I remember coming to first was a play named Hiawatha that my brother starred in, Douglas. And I remember attending that play. That, I guess that was, it was a fun event, so I remember it. But I'm sure I came to other things, that the performances and stuff that were there. So I used to come there before, for sure.
So I'm very familiar with the school. And what primary school you took the common entrance from? That's for the record.
I took the common entrance. That's a good question. I took the common entrance from Providence Primary School in Ligoni.
Okay.
But I spent most of my primary years at Swallowfield Primary School on Whitehall Avenue. And just for my common entrance year, I changed school because the principal moved and my parents believed in him, so they made me move with him.
I got you. You get special treatment for go a better school. I hear you.
Yeah, well, something like that.
No, I don't blame your parents at all. No.
Yeah, it was. They just believed that if I went under his tutelage, I would be successful. So when they transferred him from Swallowfield to Ligoni, my parents transferred us too.
The principal transferred from Swallowfield.
Yeah.
I got you. So let's go with the principal. That makes sense.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Because all our brothers and sisters would have taken the common entrance under him, and they were successful.
Yes,
Yeah,
that's right. That's right.
I follow that. Eartha, for the record, what school you went to for take the common entrance?
Swallowfield all age.
Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. And Paulette probably was a little older than you, but you wouldn't have known her from Swallowfield then at all.
I think Steve was there when I was there. Steve Samuels.
Oh, Stephen.
Yeah.
Okay. I got you. Stephen was a little younger than Paulette. So yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So Paulette, the first year you come on Meadowbrook campus now, officially as a student. What memories you have about coming on to school as a student? A couple of your brothers and sisters were there at the time when you came in 1971?
Yes. When I came in 71, Bert was still there. Jackie was still there. I don't remember if they were. I remember Bert gave me a detention one time, so I know he was in sixth form.
Explain that to us. What kind of misbehavior you were doing that your brother gave you detention?
You know what? I was late for school, I think, and I come through the church gate, which I think I wasn't supposed to do.
Or the side gate by the prep school?
The side gate by the prep school, and him catch me and give me a detention.
You see what I'm doing? Or else you know all of the shortcut them already because
and the question is, Bert came from the same home that you were coming from, right?
Yes.
So how you managed to be late?
Because him ride a bicycle and me walk.
Oh, there you go.
But I'll get back at him because he's older than me and him soon get feeble. So that's all right.
Yeah. You catch up with him, yes.
I will catch up with him. Yeah.
Not from what I'm seeing, though.
Yeah.
So it's just a matter of time, my brother.
Yeah. So what are some of the teachers you remember when you came on in first, Paulette?
Well, when I came, Mr. Thorpe was principal first. And Miss Mason was my Spanish teacher.
I remember her.
Some of the English teachers I think were still there, like Miss McTavish I think she was Scottish. Miss Peterkin,
Mm-hmm.
Miss McLennan, Mr. Chin, Mr. Gooden, Mrs. Millwood was
Mm-hmm.
one of my early math teachers,
Yes, for me too.
and one of my favorites.
Yeah.
Yeah, those were some of the ones.
Mrs. Nim was there at the time. Mrs. Fidget, the drama
Yeah,
teacher.
Mrs. Fitchett was there at
yeah.
the time,
Yeah,
yes.
yeah, 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 yeah.
Mrs. Fitchett and the art teacher. What was her name?
Oh, Mrs.
Mrs.
Lice. No, that's probably before.
No,
I,
Man.
I,
the
I,
older
I,
lady.
yeah, first it was Mrs. Cave, and then she left, and
Oh yeah,
another
Mrs. Cave.
woman
That's the one.
came.
That she didn't teach me. I know Mrs. Cave name though, because Mrs. Samuel always
Yeah,
about Mrs. Cave. Yeah, I know you're talking about Paulette. Yeah, yeah.
and then what's that other older lady name who used to wash the money? Eartha.
Remember? Oh, I'm looking at her right now.
We used to have an art teacher who was kind of a germaphobe, so we'd see paper money hanging on a line in the art room because she always washed money when anybody came.
I don't remember that teacher at all. No.
Yeah. She walked with a little lame, didn't she, Paulette?
Yes, because
Yeah.
she was quite on in years when she came to Meadowbrook. I don't think she stayed for long.
No.
But
So hold on. So she had her close friend hang up the money?
yeah, she did.
Yes.
Okay. So Eartha, the first day you come to Meadowbrook now, the first couple of weeks, what you remember most, or what's the first memory you came up on the campus? Because you say you never picked for Meadowbrook, Meadowbrook chose you. What was the first impression you get when you came from Meadowbrook campus?
I came and the place just looked beautiful. I was in awe of everything I saw. But I do remember being in class, and I was at the front of the class, and there was Cheryl Hyatt. Oh God, what was her name? Angela. She left about third form, and another young lady. And Angela was a little troublemaker. So she touched everybody. She's at the back of the class, and she touched everybody to touch me to ask, what is my name?
Mm-hmm.
When they say my name, she said, Skya Bogie. And I turned around and I gave her one of the worst look you could imagine. I was not going to have that.
Yeah, you're not going to have that nickname sick at all.
No,
No. We all know what that mean at that time. Exactly right. Yes.
Well, after class, she started to walk home. I have no idea where that girl lived, and I walked behind her for as far as I could go. And I caught up to her and I said, if you ever call me that name, I'm going to black and blue your eyes.
Hold on. I said it was Eartha bad.
Eartha bad
No,
luck.
it's at all, absolutely not.
Listen, I had to do it. I had to do it. If I did not, then to this day I would have been Skya Bogie, and I didn't want.
Eartha, I don't blame you at all. That is a good thing. It's not like a nickname like my one where it's jelly where you can embrace. That Kaya name,
No,
you couldn't embrace it at all, no.
no, I did not want that one. No.
I don't know what the matter about that. I will not going there, but when exactly them, and it's like the Bob Marley song the matter about have Kaya, different thing the matter about, yes.
I want no part of that.
Yes, exactly. No, but you did a brave thing, Eartha. I didn't know you were so brave from that time. So what gave you the courage to do that? Are you just so upset that you decided, say, no, you're not going to you're not putting up with this at all?
I think I was just upset. I was upset. And I remember my mom telling me years ago that if you ever get bullied, you have to stand up to the bully. Because if you do not, they'll always ride your back. And I think that I thought she was bullying me and I had to stop it.
Good for you, Eartha. I teach my kids the same thing, but in a more inflammatory way. I tell them, so just tell them.
Oh boy.
So who are some of the teachers that you remember, Eartha, when you come in?
Mrs. She later became the principal. She died recently.
Oh, Dr. Morris.
Dr. Morris. She taught me English for years. Mr. Thorpe was the principal. Miss Blake later came by. The home economics teacher, what was her name? Because I did home economics. You remember when they had that new building made up for the home economics center?
Yeah, man, the building opened in 1976,
I
I
can't
think, yeah.
remember who used to teach that.
Oh my God, I'm looking at the lady. She very good teacher. Mr. Oh Lord, what is this? Mr. Dean.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the
Excellent
commerce
teacher.
teacher, and yeah.
The literature teacher. Oh God, Mrs. Drummond.
Yes.
Yes, because in sixth form, she taught us. That's when I met Chana and the other. He came to sixth form.
Yeah,
So yes, those are.
Mrs. Drummond was Brown before she came Drummond.
That's correct.
Yeah, Miss
That's
Brown.
correct.
She married name is Mrs. Drummond. Yes, I know you're talking. Yeah.
And Mrs. Riley.
Yes,
Remember?
the biology teacher. Yes. Yeah.
Biology?
And she had a sister in sixth form at the time who was at the school at the
That's
time.
correct.
Yes.
Yes.
I remember that.
Leo Riney.
Mrs. Leo Riney.
Yes, she taught me. What's the name of the teacher in the other lab, the physics lab?
I don't.
She's active on social media and
Mr. Beck for the talking? No, that's chemistry.
no, it's a woman, a short, dark-skinned teacher.
Oh, she's talking Mrs. Headlam? No?
Mrs. Headlam, yeah.
Oh, yeah, she was one of them too. Mrs. Headlam, very nice. Excellent woman, yes.
Yeah. So Paulette, when you come to Meadowbrook now, I just say all the brothers and sisters came there. What I suppose you came there with high ambition because you say what were your thoughts at the school when you came there? What you hope for you achieve by coming to Meadowbrook?
You know what? I wasn't too excited because everybody had this expectation of me based on my siblings, right?
With pressure, yeah.
Yeah, and the one who I came behind was like, she was very bright. She
Bright
skipped
sparks.
a class. I
Bright
think she skipped
sparks, yes.
Yeah, Jackie. She skipped a class. I forget which class she skipped. So kind of everybody expect you to kind of do the same.
Yeah.
So and the teachers would reference them all the time, and I didn't like that at all.
Yeah,
so
I can't imagine the pressure with that part. You come in and it's
I wanted absolutely.
So hold on.
Yes.
As you bring up that, and you say I had to mention, that's why I spent 9 years at Meadowbrook. You had to slow down. That's why I slow down.
Oh, he did not.
She wrote it in her bio, Eartha. She said she have to talk about it.
I wrote it in my bio. I think
You know what? Paulette is real.
I have the record for probably the longest reigning student at Meadowbrook.
Explain that. That's 9 years. I spent 8 years and I repeat fifth form one time. So I want to explain it. I know you say. Well, go ahead.
When I was in third form, I didn't do great, right?
Mm-hmm.
And some member of my family who will remain unnamed.
Oops.
One of my siblings went to my parents and said, you should make her repeat it because she didn't do well enough. So this was not mandated by the school.
Yeah.
My parents called the school and said, make her repeat because she didn't do well enough. So that was the first year.
In third form.
And then when I went into lower six, I decided, you know what, I'm going to go to Teachers College. So I applied to Teachers College and was accepted. And so I decided, okay, I'm just going to kind of come to school, but I'm kind of done. Because I would get into Teachers College, what would be my upper sixth year.
Yeah.
But there was no point going through with lower six. So I kind of started chilling. They asked me to teach first form geography for a while for some reason. And also to teach Spanish at the prep school. So I was like not really a student anymore.
Mm-hmm.
And then I decided I didn't want to go to Teachers College. So I had to start over sixth form, lower sixth.
Okay.
So that's how I ended up spending 9 years there.
No, so we can't classify, oral for the record, we can't classify no Samuels as Dunsmart, not even Paulette.
Not at all, absolutely not. They have shine at
Yeah. I'm saying, Paulette, it's been 9 years I've come from a family like that. Jeff will explain that to me exactly.
Well, third form was a bit of a glitch because I kind of got distracted from my schoolwork, so I really didn't do well in third form. And we won't talk about what distracted me now either.
Yeah, okay. We can't leave that for another time. That can't.
I'll leave that for
That's a
another
private
time.
conversation behind the paid wall,
Yeah.
as I always say. Yeah, some conversation we stay out of the public domain. So,
Well,
Eartha, you come into first farm now. What's some of the friends them apart from the lady who you put in her place? You said, don't call you that nickname at all. That's not going to stick. What's some of the other friends them you remember?
To this day, Violet Orton, she and I was in first form together.
Mm-hmm.
We still keep in touch. In fact, she's a part of that wonderful group of people that we associate with. Cheryl Ayers was also there. Died unfortunately.
Yeah, she passed. I remember
Penelope,
that, yeah.
Penelope Latty, she also passed away.
Recently, too, yes, yeah.
Yes. Sharon Morgan, Patricia Clark,
Mm-hmm.
Carol, what is Carol name?
Carol Brown.
Carol Brown was in the class.
Mm-hmm.
Philip Daly was in my class.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Richard Cardoza
Mm-hmm.
was in my class. Wow. And there was a guy with a very strong English accent. I'm looking at him right now. I don't remember his name.
You're not talking about Douglas Crooks.
Guguk was in my class also, but not. There was a guy in the class. He was there for a short period of time, and then he migrated. But I think he had his parents live in England because he has a very strong English accent.
Yeah. All right. You mentioned the name Eartha, and I have to take you there because you mentioned Philip Daly name. And Philip Daly was the one who carried China at his first visit when he was in second. Were you aware that China was at Meadowbrook in second farm with you guys?
Yes, China and I did literature together.
No, I'm not talking in sixth farm. I'm talking about his first visit in second farm.
No, I wasn't aware of it. Oh God.
That was an unofficial visit. He was there for 2 weeks. Yes, unofficially. Yes. He got suspended from Arden and then he came to Meadowbrook with Philip Daly. But yet, he spoke both of them film conversations. So I just wondering if you
I heard it. But I was laughing so hard. I'm like, I didn't know that.
Yeah. So, at what point then, Eartha, did you started, you came to Meadowbrook with the intention to say you wanted to be a member of ISCF, the Inter-School Christian Fellowship. Did you have that intention when you came to Meadowbrook?
No, I did not. I did not. For the first year, I did not go to ICF because I was not of that. I did not even go to church. I had an experience after that where I formed a personal relationship with Christ. And I think it was the year, the January of going into my second year, my second form. And that's when I started to become a part of ISCF. But the first year I did not. I was not a part of it.
So you got a call in Eartha, to put it a better way.
It was definitely a calling, and it changed my life drastically.
Okay, so but one little caveat on that, you think, say, if you had got the call before the girl called the nickname, how would I deal with it that
Same way. Same way.
Same way.
You're now back from that. All right, I hear you.
No, I said same way. What did you say, Eartha?
Same way.
Yes.
Same way. Oral, you there?
I'm here, very well excited. Really enjoying this exciting conversation.
I never know Eartha about at all. That's all we can say.
No, I don't think it was bad. I just think I was just picking up for myself, just protecting me.
I'm more power to you, Eartha. I'm glad you did that, man. More power to you for stand up for yourself, because sometimes, as I say, if you make things stick, it going to stick right throughout the school year for true.
True that.
Yeah. So, Paulette, did you came to Meadowbrook thinking that you wanted to be a member? Because both of you, right in your bio, say instrumental members at ISCF. Did you come to Meadowbrook with that intention, Paulette?
I don't. When I came to Meadowbrook, ICF wasn't that much of a thing, as far as I recall. I think the group kind of was. I think The first person that I know of that was leading the group, I think it was Olive Hemmings. Now Dr. Olive Hemmings teaching, I believe, he's a professor at a university, Seventh-day Adventist University in the States. But I don't know. I don't know. I'm a pastor's kid, right? So, um, uh, joining a church affiliated kind of group, Christian, would come naturally to me. But up until early third form, the group wasn't very active, and I wasn't very interested. But then after third form, I think after I repeated, I got I don't know what inspired me to go, but I got very involved after that. And it wasn't a group that like my siblings would have gone to because it wasn't an active group before then.
Right, I was just going to ask you that if the siblings were involved in that before you. For you were the first one then who actually got involved in a group like that.
I believe so. Yeah.
Yeah. So you have one up on them then. Don't worry about that. Yeah. You have one up on them. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
So
I think it was a teacher.
Yeah, go ahead,
I think it was Mrs. Millwood, I think, who was the first ISCF sponsor.
Yes, it was.
But yeah, right, Eartha?
Yes, it was, yes.
So it those groups only come to schools if there's a teacher there who will kind of sponsor it for them. So they didn't have the opportunity because I don't think the group really existed prior to.
Yeah, but I can tell you this, it was a very, very active and instrumental group after third form for me. I wasn't a part of the group, but I know the power of the group. It was very, very uninspired all the people for join that organization. I don't know.
Absolutely.
I think.
Yeah, go ahead, Warral.
No, I was just saying I believe that maybe it's because of Paulette's family background, starting with, her father as a pastor, and that kind of religious background and pillar and foundation may have been the momentum towards spurring her in that direction, maybe.
Absolutely. And we had the privilege of visiting a lot of schools and their groups.
Right.
And, each group kind of inspired the other one. And we visit, we used to go to schools like Calabar, JC, Arden, all the time to their meetings, and they would come to ours. So, yeah, that was kind of like a catalyst for us.
Mm-hmm.
Right. That ISCF at Meadowbrook was really a robust little institution right there.
Yeah, for sure.
I was inspired by it myself, and I think that my sister Jessina would have been part of it as well.
Absolutely, Justina would have been. Yeah.
So Eartha, when you got inspired to join the group, then who was part of the group when you joined the group? That's when you first met Paulette?
That's where I first met Paulette. Yes, I think Paulette was head girl at one point. I don't know when. Probably when I was in third form.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, you were head girl, but that's when I really met Paulette, Andrew Keane. Oh Lord, bye.
Yeah,
Christopher
Senior. Yeah.
Leighton Forrest, Roxanne Morris came later on in sixth form. Carl, what's his Carl? Grant.
Yeah.
I spoke to her yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
Grant, yeah. Martin Brown, Leighton Forrest, and
Colin Rawl,
Mm-hmm.
Jackie Morris.
Yeah.
Marcia
Leckie.
Mm-hmm.
Oh gosh, I'm thinking of Georgia
Aarons.
Georgia Aarons,
Yes.
yeah.
Yes.
She's still from Pembrokeshire. Yeah.
There was a lot of people from the Pembrokeshire crew in ICF.
Yeah. That is true.
Yeah.
What's your name that was part of it? The Ola Nicholson. Nelly, I think.
Yeah, Rose.
Nelly, yes.
Yeah, Rose. Yes. She was in 7th year. So yes.
Yeah.
Because their father was a pastor too, Paulette.
Yeah, for sure.
Pastor Nick. Yeah. I used to live near them at Pembrokeshire, so I know exactly what you're talking. Yeah. So who was in terms of that group wasn't a teacher was in charge of that was it's just student full in charge of that? Who was like somebody overseer? Did you have a
We had
coach?
a sponsor. We had a sponsor, and it would be a teacher. It started with Mrs. Millwood, and
Yeah.
then Miss Miss Beverly Blake took over. Am I correct,
Right.
Paulette?
That's correct. That's correct.
Yeah.
That was
That's
the
it.
last one.
Right. She was a history teacher, I believe. Right.
Yes, she was a sixth form A-level history teacher.
Right.
Yeah, for sure.
The West Indian history she was.
Yeah, she taught me
Yeah.
history. She taught me history to oral. So I'm exact. A good history teacher. That's the only A-level subject I passed. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
I forgive her kudos. Don't worry about that.
Miss Pattins, I think European history.
Yes, yeah. So, Paulette, you said you were an excellent debater, and I remember, yes, you were. I never see you as a debater. I saw you as an excellent speaker in terms that you stand up in front of assembly and you could talk and inspire
Yes.
people. Where did you learn that skill?
You know what? I think it's in the church, right? Because when your father is a pastor, you're forced into public speaking very early.
Mm-hmm.
And you don't get intimidated by large audiences because it become a way of life for you. And so I think that's where it started, really. And also I have a lot of role models in my family who are good speakers, so it kind of came naturally to me. It didn't really take much effort because of all the experiences I had in my family and in church before I even started high school, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You didn't come like nothing if you just stand up in front of a crowd and talk.
No. It's kind of it's easier for me to stand up in a crowd and talk than to walk up and talk to a stranger.
Okay, I hear you.
Still is.
And it's reverse for most people. It's a dead sentence.
Yeah, it is the reverse for most
people. It's the wickedest thing to tell them. So go talk in front of a crowd. them get cold feet. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. So Eartha, you said you remember the History Society with Miss Blake.
Yes.
Expand on that for us. I didn't even know a History Society existed and I was a history student. Why you never invite me?
It was open to everyone. I think you were more in your cricket.
Okay, maybe. All right. I will hold it against you.
Miss Blake was instrumental in forming that group. Wasn't it, Paulette?
I believe so.
And
there was also a teacher. Who did you go on the trip to interview Mr. Ward and
yes, I was. Yes, I was.
Nearly washed you went to the gully.
Oh, gee.
Yeah, well, I want to talk about that. So go ahead. Let's expand.
So it was Miss Blake. The name of that art teacher was Mr. Hong Sang.
Mr. Sang?
Yes. And he had a small car.
Yeah, man, like a mini. Yes.
Mini. So we went on that trip and he drove us. And it was a beautiful trip up until we interviewed. We went to the house. I think Paulette and Winsome asked most of the questions, but I was in awe and I felt good to be a part of it. And we left. We were in good spirit and we're going through St. Mary. And there was a massive rain. And we were in a gully. And the car started to wash away. Oh, Lord, we were praying. Oh, I was praying, we were praying. And I think it was some guys who were on the embankment.
Yeah.
Who rush in, tie the car, and pull us out. Oh, my gosh.
So Miss Osang car almost wash away?
Almost wash away. Full up of water. Water come up into the car and our foot and everything.
I never know that story. So, but go back a little bit. So, on the leave from Meadowbrook and go to, and Mr. Ward was how old at the time?
Oh, I think he was.
It's right.
Wasn't he almost 100, Paulette?
Reverend
Ward.
Is Reverend Ward? Is the official title? It was not Dr. Paulette.
Reverend
Ward. Reverend Henry Ward. Let me give him right title. Reverend Henry Ward. Yes.
Yeah. We were trying to interview, I believe we were trying to interview all the founders.
Mm-hmm.
That's what, and he was, yeah.
So who arranged up that interview for now?
I think it's Mrs. Was it Miss Blake?
It was
I
Miss
think it's
Blake.
Miss Blake. Yeah, Miss
Miss Blake.
Blake arranged it.
So we're in St. Mary Reverend Ward live at the time.
Oh my gosh, I couldn't tell you where. It was a
Me
small
neither.
town, very humble little place. Remember, Paulette?
I know that the place where we was driving is like a Ford. You know, when you have a, I think it names something Ford to it, where they have like a river
The
drive
Ben,
through it, but it's still a
ben,
road.
the
Yeah.
Benson Fording you're talking?
What? Say it again.
Benson Fording, somewhere in Norbrook there you're
Some
talking?
somewhere off there. It's something Ford in. Yeah, that's where I think we almost get washed with.
Yes, Benson Fording, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So hold on, when you visit, what kind of present this award, or Reverend Henry Ward provided when you got there and she said this man is the founder of the school? How did you feel when you go talk to to Reverend Ward?
I was in awe. I was in awe. He was such a humble man. He,
Yes.
that was what I got from it. Is just his humbleness and his willingness to serve, because it's
Yes.
all about forming school that children could learn and build a community of people that help each other, and that was his mission. And
Yeah.
it was, yeah, I was impressed.
Yeah. 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 He's off that era where people really believe in service and not for personal gain or fame. You know.
So how old was he at the time? You remember?
I think it was his birthday, or close to his, but he was very coherent. He was with
Yeah.
it. He did not miss a beat.
So the age
No,
didn't matter at all. You could have talked to him and have a lucid conversation.
Very,
absolutely.
very.
Absolutely.
And one thing else, I was impressed with his wife. She
Yeah.
was there. She served his every need. She was, oh my gosh, she was so attentive to him. And I'm sitting there and say, wow, what a
Yeah.
wonderful woman.
Absolutely.
So by the way, did you know have any recording that interview or a transcript of that interview? What happened to that interview? Because that's a historical document. If we have it, or if we can remember what happened, it would be nice if we recall it and present.
I know. I don't remember.
I don't remember anything right.
Well, I think we did it. It must have I think it was in the school magazine, the yearbook for sure. There was some reporting of it in the yearbook, and it may even have gotten mentioned in the newspaper. But I don't have a clear memory of it. Actually, Eartha's memory of it is even clearer than mine, but I don't have a clear memory of it. Yeah.
Oh no, but so when Mr. Ward, Reverend Ward, came to the school, I visited the school once, I think.
Yeah, we had a big thing one time, and I think I gave a speech at that thing.
And that
and it was to honor the founders or something like that. And I know that whole thing there was an article in the paper about it, because I used to have the article, because it had a picture. My picture was in the papers, first time ever. So when Mr. Ward came to the school, he was honored on that day, and some other people were honored. I remember that.
So
not as clearly as I should, but I do remember it.
So the function that we had for him at the school was it after or before you guys went to interview him?
I think it was after.
I think it was after.
Oh, I got you. So maybe
I think it was after.
Maybe
it may have.
Yeah, go ahead, Paulette.
I'm thinking that this school must have been having some big anniversary coming up. I can't remember precisely, and the interview may have been actually linked to that day coming up afterwards. Like it was a whole process to celebrate something, and interviewing him was part of the process. I believe.
Yeah. So you said you wanted to interview. It was 4 founders right at Meadowbrook. What are the 4 founders again? Just for the record.
I think it's some of them were dead by the time we interviewed Ward. Not true.
Yes.
Yeah.
Wasn't there a Saunders? Wasn't there a Miss Saunders?
Mad Saunders.
Yeah.
Yes. There was the guard sure was a lady too. I forget her name. And I don't know they were all the houses were named after them.
I
So
found that, that's what I thought in a part, but I've never heard of somebody associated with Rodney.
I think he may have died long,
Long
long.
ago? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
But I spoke to somebody recently, I don't know if it's you, Oral, who said they have a contact with Miss Gartrude's daughter,
No, it wasn't me.
our granddaughter.
Okay.
Somebody did tell me that recently. I forgot jog my memory and say who they talked to me about that and say them have a contact with Miss Gartrude's granddaughter. And I think she used to go to Meadowbrook too, from in the early days. So I forgot to reach out back and see if I remember who exactly they tell me that information.
Absolutely.
But that's nice. That I mean, so it's only Mr. Warden to get for talk to then.
I
Correct.
believe so. I believe he was like the last of the Mohicans, and we were able to.
But let me ask both on something though. Don't you realize at the time when I saw song Carol was watch the significance of saying I gotta look for the phone at the school. Did it dawn upon her at the time? I never met.
Aware of it. I think we were aware of it. Don't you?
Yeah, we were aware of it. I think we were aware of it. We were aware that we were doing something very special.
Yeah.
And we were certainly aware that we could almost lose our lives doing it.
Talk about it. Yes. I hear you. All right, Paulette. As a debater then, tell me some of the debating, some of the people you mash up in a debate at Meadowbrook.
What? I don't remember them details, you know. I tell you, see, my brain is not, don't hold, my long-term memory is not fantastic. But that's okay because Alzheimer's attack your short-term memory, so I'm still good. But me can't remember, it's hard for me to remember some of my opponents.
Paulette, 1 second. I remember it was a debate, and I think Vivian, was his last name Blake?
Vivian Thomas.
Thomas. I remember that debate. Don't ask me what it is about, but I was so proud of you, girl. I was so proud of you because she's doing what I cannot do. I was impressed.
and this was a house debate.
Yes, it's
inter-house debate in competition. Yes.
I can't remember if we did any between us and another school. I don't think so. I can't remember. It's possible. I don't remember if we did that.
Well, Ura and I had our debate under the tree beside Pekka, and those debates never stopped.
Of course not. Those are the best debates, right? Fueled by some salt and bread and all that. Yeah.
Right, Oral. Even today, those debates continue, Oral, right?
Continue still. Because they were around a different set of social issues and political issues.
Yeah.
Which are still very active issues in Jamaica.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So, Paulette, when let me ask Eartha this, because Eartha mentioned this and I didn't even realize this in Eartha. I was at school and I didn't remember this. I remember Andrea was head girl. And you're saying it's only 206 so it's like no matter who run the race, one of them get gold and silver. I say I never know that you get head girl and deputy head girl by default.
Exactly. What happened? And I remember it because I think my teachers had more confidence in me than I had in myself at the time.
Mm-hmm.
So exam came around and I'm coming to Meadowbrook, walking from home, and I'm praying and I'm interceding because I don't know what to expect. I really don't know what to expect. And you know that the staff room was right at the front there. So back open the gate. You come through the gate, the teachers already see you. And I remember Miss Blake running out. She ran out so fast. She grabbed me and she hugged me. And she said, I knew you could do it. I said, what did I do? She said, you did well. You did great. And I'm like, oh my God. I mean, I was stunned. So then you start to know who got this and who got that. By then we knew that from the original group, only Andrew Markland and myself will be going on to sixth form, whether it was by choice or I think what's her name? What I'm looking at now. Her son is she was very bright. Oh gosh, what is her name? She's in my friend group. She went to a Campion.
Oh, Janet Scott.
Janet Scott.
Yes,
Janet
yes. She went to Campion. Yes, and we're
and
talking. Yeah.
Martin and I were the only two girls from the original class of 74 who
Went to sixth form. I did
went
not
on.
know that Eartha.
In fact, it was four girls in that sixth form. Eartha, Andrea, Essie Gardner, Carol Grant.
Right.
Essie came from St. Catherine and Carol came from where?
Oh God. What's that school?
In Portland, Titchfield?
No, she's from Orange. She's from oh, he's gonna kill me that I don't remember her school name. What's the name of the school? It's a very good school in outside of like Ocho Rios in that area.
It's not Claremont.
No.
Was it also a boarding
Fern
school?
Court?
No.
Yeah.
It will come. It will come.
St. Hilda's? No.
No, it wasn't in the York Castle. Am I thinking of York Castle?
It may have been
Yes,
York Castle. Maybe it's York
It was
Castle.
Yes. She came from that school and she spent sixth form with us. So it was only four girls were in the entire sixth form. And of course, I think for the boys, it was Andrew Keane, Steve Samuels, Douglas Crooks, and probably two more. So Steve Samuels became deputy and Andrew Keane became a boy.
What a year.
Yeah, that was the year.
That was a year, yes.
Yeah. So Paulette, when you became head girl, that was like a fait accompli because just by years of service alone, you must have been head girl.
I know, eh?
Right.
I know, I was. Yeah, I had to be. That was something.
So let me ask you something though. Did the siblings them, was that a part of your siblings them, they were head girl or head boy while you were at Meadowbrook?
You know what? I think almost all of them were.
Okay. So
Yeah, I think almost all of them were. Jackie definitely was head girl.
It was like expected then that you had to be head girl. Yeah.
So,
You couldn't let down that tradition at all. No, I hear you. So
I think actually what happened is, I don't know. I don't remember. I think I may have become head girl in lower six, and then they decided it was unfair to let me continue in the role in upper six or something. I can't remember, something like that.
So how that goes? I don't even know how that goes. Head girl pick for 1 year and it's just you in lower six when you get
and you're usually in upper six.
Oh, that's how right when you get picked.
But it could be because I repeated the year that lower six year that they gave it to me in lower six.
Okay.
Yeah.
Paulette, you know what always puzzled me? Who decided who was going to be what? Because it wasn't a very democratic process.
No, that was a teacher. I think that was the staff selected the head girl.
It was like a secret vote, Eartha.
Yes, because when my name called in the morning, I almost have a heart attack.
Yeah, they choose them. They choose them. Even prefects. I don't think anybody had any choice over it except teachers.
No, this was not a democratic thing at all. The students that voted for head girl or head boy. It was like the administration decided that the principal and I suppose a couple of teachers and decide that is.
Yeah, probably the sixth form teachers. I don't know.
But you're a teacher now, Paulette. How they do that at your school? Or they don't have that at all? How they choose?
No, I'm in an elementary school, so we don't really have.
No, you don't have that at all. That's true.
They don't. Unfortunately, I don't think students, at least in the K to 8 range, get as much leadership opportunities as students in Jamaica do. And I think it's also because at that age group, it is considered inappropriate to be too competitive and too hierarchical.
You mean here?
Yeah, in North
In North
America.
America, I agree with Paul. I mean, for the record, I was a teacher here for about 18 months, and I didn't like the job at all. I taught at elementary school to Paulette and Eartha for about 18 months, but that was my calling. Was not. It was.
Can't do it.
No, it take a certain for young, and I had young children at the time, so that was like I can't do young children because my kids were young. One of them was in the same grade at 5th grade, but I didn't like it, and I get the same impression like you got, Paul. It is like maybe I was in Jamaica, I love it, but here is like I just don't like the school system here at all. It is like a straight jacket. Them don't make the kids, them especially the younger one, them have the freedom to express themselves like we were allowed to when we were growing up in Jamaica.
Yeah.
I don't know if that has changed, but that is something that I could identify. But this was years ago. I thought about 15, almost 20 years ago when I just came here. I taught for about 18 months, so I gave it up. It was my calling, was not. Let me put it that way, politically correct. I don't want going on no more. So Paul, let me ask you this question. Which teacher or schoolmate inspire you when you just came to Meadowbrook? Which teacher you look on and say, yes, does the teacher inspire you, touch you? And next, which student inspire you?
I would say Mrs. Millwood was probably the first teacher that I had a lot of respect for and who inspired me. She was a very gentle person, and she was my math teacher, and I really enjoyed doing math when she taught. Student, that's a good one.
And it couldn't be Bert.
No. No, it couldn't be Bert.
Bert get attention in the first week.
Yeah, so I'm trying to see if there was an older student who I looked up to and inspired me. I really can't think of one, but my close friends who I have still, once I became associated with them, they inspire me and kind of encourage me, and still do today for sure.
You mean your friends, them, your compatriot, them, like your age group, yeah.
Yes.
Well, name some of them not the same one who inspired.
Yeah, it's the same ICF crew.
Okay, ICF crew. Okay. No, and I can speak for Mrs. Millwood, and I think Oral, you know Mrs. Millwood as well?
Oh, yes, very well.
Because
yes.
Mrs. Millwood was my farm teacher when I just started, and I had the same feeling like you had about her, Paulette. She was the nicest of lady, man. It was like the gentlest was make you feel, and she taught me maths as well. As well, man. She was like,
when she came into Meadowbrook, she was a guidance counselor.
Yeah, she was that afterward. Yeah.
She has transitioned to be the guidance counselor.
And I suppose a better guidance, as good a guidance counselor she was a teacher oral, from your experience.
Absolutely. I mean, she was very inspirational. She really guided me through the Meadowbrook process. I really came from a poor family background, and at the time, as I discussed in my conversations with you, that she was very instrumental in getting me into that program where they prepare hot meals for people like me who could not afford a lunch.
Okay. You remember that you're talking about that. Yeah. Yeah, she had a special touch. And she had 3 daughters coming at the school at the time.
Yeah.
I was in class with what's her name?
Karen.
Karen was the younger one. That would have been Denise. Denise was the one in our year, and then the older one was, I think, in Paulette here, or maybe a year, but Eleanor.
Yeah, Denise.
She was in Paulette here.
Eleanor, yeah. Dennis was in our year, Eartha, and
yes.
The younger one was a year below, I think. Karen, yeah. Yeah, man, I remember all 3 of them, and as I said, the mother was, trust me, a special lady. So you, Eartha, which teacher or which schoolmate inspired you at Meadowbrook?
In terms of teachers, Mrs. Morris. And what I loved about Mrs. Morris is that she just did not teach English. She taught us about life. I remember one day she came in the class, and I don't know what was happening. But she came in the class, and the first thing she said, students, let me tell you something, and I'm talking particularly the girls. When you get married and you find and your husband decide to go to school, you go to school also. You, and I was like, wow. And something must have been happening, or she knew of something, or she heard of something, but she wanted us to know that it was very important that if your partner in life is improving himself, you should also improve yourself. And I remember that to this day. Mr. Dean, Mr. Dean, I love Mr. Dean. I love his kindness. He was very respectful,
Yes.
very respectful, and there was something about that touched me. And
Yeah.
more than ever, Miss Blake, Miss
Mm-hmm.
Blake was a phenomenal lady,
She
and
was.
and anyone who know where she is, whatever is happening, I would love us to find Miss Blake.
Yeah,
And
for
that's my
sure.
mission, to find Miss Blake and see if we can help her or do something for her. She was kind to me. Oral, you talk about Miss Morris putting you on the program. Miss Blake was instrumental in making me come to school and have lunch every day. And she did it quietly. She did it unassumingly. She did not tell anyone.
Right,
And
right.
I will ever be grateful for her, to her.
And you know, the tournament and something, and that was the beauty of Meadowbrook at the time. You know. A lot of people came to school, and nobody knew the toughness we had at home, you know.
Nope.
True.
And teacher,
And
yeah, go ahead, Oral.
I must say that Miss Blake is really going through a very challenging time. You must have heard.
Yes, I
Yeah.
heard.
I don't wish to say much, but after here we could talk about that. But
Yes, please. Yes.
it's really challenging, and myself and Timon from time to time, would have to help out situation. But that's something we could talk off the air.
Yes,
Yeah,
please.
I will share both. I will exchange the numbers them to both of you. That's when you can talk about it because that would be nice
In that
if.
point, saying that she really wants to reconnect with her. That is possible because I know where to find her.
Excellent. Excellent.
That's good
Yeah.
news, Eartha. If it's even one thing up note of this conversation tonight, is that
Yeah, for
Oh,
sure.
we have been trying to find her. I
Yeah.
have sent out so many feelers, and this is good news.
Yeah, man, I know where to find. Exactly where to go tomorrow I go, and there's a 99.5 possibility that she's
you'll
here.
find her. Yeah. Good Oral. Good. Eartha, we, and then as I said, we talk about it after the year because I just said we don't want. Yeah, we could leave it right there. So yes.
Yes.
We just help. We want to help. So yeah,
Yes.
we want to help, and we're in a position to give back. Because at the point I was making is a lot of students came to Meadowbrook, right,
Mm-hmm.
and needed help, and it was done under the quiet in such a human way that nobody knew.
Thankful.
Right.
Nobody knew.
And the fact that the teachers perceive it. Nobody don't ask them for nothing,
Yeah,
but they just pay attention and watch and interested enough to take interest in the students to realize that you know what, this child needs help and offer it quietly.
yeah.
Amazing.
And it was no official program, Paul. Them take it out of the
No,
own pocket,
out of
right?
them,
Out of her
and,
own pocket.
and you know, teacher wasn't making no work for money.
No, right.
So it's a sacrifice for them
Still
to
now
do
make
that.
no only for money, Paul. Teachers still not make
Yeah,
no only for money. Back then, even
absolutely.
worse. Exactly.
No,
So,
I was just going to say, Prince, they still don't make a lot of
no.
money.
True, true,
So
true,
if
true.
you read today's second page of the Gleaner, it would make headlines where you are. I mean, teachers. I mean, it's reported in the papers today that a teacher come and work on the farm work program in Florida, and what they get for a week is what they earn for a month here.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
And I have no doubt about that because that is mainly about the devaluation and the difference between the two currencies. It's not to do
yeah.
about skill or not like that at all. Well, just
No,
that is the,
absolutely.
that's such a when I look on that all a while and say when you come here you're doing the same job and you're getting 10 times the amount just based on the price of the currency. It is
But the thing about it, though, without getting too much into the economics and the politics, is that so much of what people have to buy is tied to the US dollar and the value, but except the salaries, right? So that's why life gets so hard.
Yeah, man, that's the wicked part, Paulette. I just say we don't want to get tonight tomorrow, but that's exactly right. Everything we have to buy is set in a foreign exchange except your salary.
Yeah.
Except your salary. It is, as I say, I don't like to talk about it, and I don't want to use this program for talk about it at all. It's a different conversation that completely. So, yeah. So, Eartha, anyway.
That's the dilemma of the teacher.
Yeah,
That's
exactly. And it's not the teachers alone.
Yeah.
Not the teachers alone. So, yeah. But I'm glad overall that Eartha can connect, and I will share the two on the number one another, that to make sure. Because I know Miss Blake too, and Miss Blake, because as I say, it's the only year-level subject I passed was history, and she taught me what's in history. So I am sure glad when you can see when you're going to put something together and try. I'm happy to hear that. I'm going to put it that way. So Eartha, let me ask you this. Yeah, go ahead.
No, we're just asking Eartha if she travels to Jamaica regularly.
I was there a year and a half ago. I used to come every year. I haven't been back but I'll come next year. God help.
And then, of course, we'll exchange numbers, and then we can link up and see and do the necessary correct connection with Mrs.
So visit Miss Blake. Yeah, I think that's what we're like. Try to arrange up Eartha. Yeah. You see her physically, because
yes.
Definitely. She'd be happy to see you. So
very delighted.
Yeah. So let me ask you this question. First, Eartha. Any fun memories you have at Meadowbrook, either in the classroom and apart from when the car get watched? Any other fun memories? Classroom, field trip, ISF, what you can remind us of?
Oh, fun memories. You know what? It was all good fun. I was probably one of the class prankster. One of the things I did in class was Violet, you love to laugh. You just have to look at her and she laughs.
That's Violet Horton.
Yes, and there was certain class I did not like. Spanish class I did not like. I did not do well. And I started do a little sneeze, but it was like and the whole class would be in laughter. I mean, the whole class, and the teacher would come in. I remember one day I did it for English class, and Mrs. Morris came in, and she said, "You need to stop." And the class still laughing, and I'm not laughing. And she said, Eartha Bogie, I know you're the one. I said, me? What am I doing? She said, your eyes, give you away. Will you stop?
Catch up with you.
But let me tell you something. To this day, I cannot sneeze well. Every time I sneeze, my husband says, "Oh my God."
And Paul, the same question for you. Any fun memories you remember from any field trip or in the classroom?
You know, some of my fondest memories was when we used to do plays.
Yes.
For school drama festival. And we did one that was quite acclaimed, and we had to go do it at I think Little Theatre.
Yes,
yeah.
was in it.
Yeah. And one of the main actors in it was a girl named Constance White.
That's Keith's sister.
That's Keith's sister, and she's quite she's really into fashion on the New York scene right now.
Yeah.
She was editor for Essence for a spell too.
Yeah.
And the funny thing about her being editor for her Essence was, I remember she was editor for our school magazine, and I sat on the editorial committee with her for one of our yearbook. So to see her doing that is amazing. But that play was directed by a white.
That's not the one I'm thinking.
Englishman who came to do a little spell of teaching English name.
Mr. Shervington?
John Carrington. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
I'm trying to remember the name of the play. My friend Martin Brown was in it, and Martin can still repeat the lines from the play, but I'm not that good. It was some African chiefs, and Constance was one of the bigger chiefs, and I don't remember what I was, but all those plays that we did for school's drama festival. Those were some of the highlights of my fun years, and some fun sports day too. One time when I was house captain, me can't run but through me a house captain, and them do have a fourth man for the seniors relay
Really?
for the. Me have to jump in and run, and me can't run, and me I come last, but me I work, me I look like me I running out, me nah move. And I remember the whole bottom field was laughing at me. The whole bottom field.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, so those were some good times.
Yeah.
For sure. Yeah.
So Eartha, what the most embarrassing moment you can remember at Meadowbrook where you can look back upon with a smile?
Oh my gosh, I will not forget. There was something happening in Jamaica at the time, some political situation. I was always very political.
You
I mean,
were?
backstage, the back steps to go to assemble, and we're discussing this event. I don't remember exactly what it is, but we got a little animated and a little loud. And Archibald was our prefect at the time.
That's Archibald
Told me
Hilton.
to come.
Hilton.
Yeah.
Yeah. And he told me once, and I forgot. I got agitated again, and I'm saying something. And he sent me to Mrs. Spanner.
Mrs. McLennan.
Yes. And that was the first time I realized I had a real bad temper that I need to take care of. And I storm into that lady's office, and I'm like, woman, what do you think?
Oh, you said talking to Miss McLennan?
Yes, and she looked at me and she said, Eartha, you are beside yourself. You are beside yourself. Get out of my office and get yourself together. By this time now, I'm embarrassed. I have embarrassed myself. I've embarrassed my ICF family. I am beside myself. So I know there was going to be a retribution. Next morning, I went to school, and Mr. Thorpe at the end of the class, and will these students come to my office? Earn a bogey. And everybody looking at me. I'm already crying. And I went to the office, and he said, I am surprised. I am surprised, not you. Anybody else. What happened? And I'm like, I lost my temper. He said, you are going to her office. You're going to Miss McLennan's office now. You're going to apologize to her. And you're coming back. And I went to her. And by the time I went, I was crying so hard that she hugged me. And I went back. He still gave me a spanking in my hand.
I was just going to ask you about that if you never get caned in. You did?
Yes, I did. Yes, I did.
I didn't know.
I got about 4 each in each hand.
This is the first I realized a girl used to get caned in Meadowbrook. Because I just think a boys alone get caned in. I didn't know girls get caned.
I used to think it was boys alone too. Girls didn't get it very often. Girls were more likely to get suspended.
Right. So, Eartha, as far as you know, you remember anybody else that get caned in?
No, because I didn't talk. I'm embarrassed.
Girls don't talk about it.
Paulette, did you know about it?
No?
Because I was so embarrassed. I was so embarrassed. I didn't know. I was, that was one of the worst things that could have happened to me.
Yeah, no, Eartha, tell me something I didn't know at all. World, you knew that girls got caned in Meadowbrook?
I did not know it. I'm learning something for the first time tonight.
It looks like you won, but it Eartha, so you won that.
That's what I'm saying. It's like Eartha alone I tell the tale, Paulette. Come here and say,
I know about boys getting it,
exactly.
But not a girl.
I said he beat me. He gave me a whooping.
In your hand, Eartha. I remember, no, boys not getting any money, so that is why I say, I wonder.
Boys have to bend over.
Right. Once the top call and say, Mr. Prince, see me in my office. And the drop him one and them say, bend over. You know what, come, Eartha. So.
So he said, give me your hand. And I pull it back a little. And so the first one went up a little higher than it should.
Yeah.
And then
that one hit the nerve,
But that was my only time.
Yeah.
So Paulette, the same question to you now. What the most embarrassing moment you can remember at Meadowbrook? you can look back on with a smile.
I think I can't. Well, the embarrassing moment, we can't look back in a smile. I remember when I went back into third form and repeated. That was quite embarrassing for me. And to see all my friends gone up to fourth form and I'm still down in third form. Yeah, that was embarrassing. I can't look back on that one with
No,
a
not
smile.
with a smile. No, I hear you. Especially when you're so young. When you repeat fifth form like I did, no, you said, try will people repeat fifth form because
It's true. And fifth form makes sense. Because I try to get some more subjects.
Right. They have a reason, but yeah.
Third form was the worst form to repeat because you remember that's the year them introduced you to all the sciences
Yeah,
and
but you have a
everything.
fourth form, you step up, right.
Yeah, before you pick. So that was like a waste of time. Anyway, I can't think of. I know one time ICF went and led an assembly and the music was kind of bad. We tried to put together a band and some singing. And the music was kind of really bad. Like a garage band, So I remember that one we laugh back at sometimes, all of us who were doing it.
Yeah. I just thought about song. Which song you remember the most? And it can be one of your spiritual songs or a popular song you remember the most at Meadowbrook.
I remember a lot of the hymns that we used to sing in assembly. Let me see if I can think of one now. And these would not have been the same kind of songs we sing in ICF. These were more songs like United Church songs that Mr. Daly used to lead us. Do you remember
Oliver
Mr.
Daly?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oliver Daly, yeah. Some of those in our little. We used to have a blue hymn book. I had our school hymns in it. I don't know if it survived until you guys came, but that's one of the first things you got on your book list was a hymn book.
A blue hymn book, yeah, man. I remember that. Yes.
And sing out of that. Some of those songs in there, I remember because them kind of different because I come from like a Pentecostal church, so we never really sing them hymns.
The different
hymns. And they used to sound good to me, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm trying to see if one will come to my mind as I talk, but it might come later. But yeah. Yeah, I used to love those hymns.
Yeah. And Eartha, the same for you. Which songs do you remember from Meadowbrook?
I can't sing, and Paulette will tell you that I'm the worst of the group. But Jackie used to sing this song, Shine. You remember it, Paulette?
Shine? Yes.
So often I try to sing it. I love it.
Who used to sing that, Eartha?
Jackie Morris.
Oh, Jackie. Oh, really? I didn't know Jackie.
She used to play piano. So she could play and sing for us in our ICF stuff. Yeah. Hey, you remember the school song?
By the way, Jackie played music at my wedding. She played it. Yes.
Oh, really?
I remember the school song though. We build our school on thee, O Lord, on thee we pleasure common need. If for these we pray, thy spirit may enrich and bless our school always. Yeah, I remember that one.
Oh, no, better remember than me. I don't remember the school song at all.
Yeah, that was a school song. Yeah.
Oral, you know that Meadowbrook had a school song?
So I am just remembering those memorable days when those songs were being heard right across. You hear it, sometimes I would be late because I'm coming from the hill.
Yeah.
And walking in and hear it, man, let me tell you something, man, is the most inspiring thing to hear.
The beautiful sound.
Beautiful song, man. Very beautiful song. And Paulette remembers it so well. Well, of course, you come from a singing family anyway.
Yeah, well, a long tradition of Meadowbrook, so she must know the song them. So I hear it from our idea, our knee, as would I say. Yes.
And possibly Prince, I think it's a good way to try and get the line to it, so you could probably introduce it to the start of your podcast.
That's true.
That is true, Oral. If somebody can send me the line, if Paulette, if you have the line, I remember, if you have the hymn book,
I
remember the line. Send it to me. Send it to me.
I'll do that for sure.
That would draw a lot of memories.
Yeah. Even if I can't sing it, I can certainly talk.
Yes, even just that one line that Paulette just sang.
Yeah, definitely, Oral. Definitely.
Because it's just dragging my memory right back to the book and just looking into the space of where I was at.
Yeah.
And for the record in the Eartha, Jackie Morris and I went to the same church, St. George's Church on East Street. We got confirmed together. And as
Wow.
yeah, man, yeah, but don't let that be a secret, because nobody knows I'm confirmed. So
Is it for that Prince?
no, Timon say I mustn't talk it out loud. Timon said, Jerry, don't let anybody hear you say that. So yes, we
So
went
in
to.
other words, is it that you have deviated from your contract?
Oh, yeah.
That's not. Well, that's not for me to decide. It's in my heart. Don't worry. No, we went to confirmation class together, Eartha. But the year we started in Meadowbrook in 1974, we both went to confirmation class at St. George's Church together. So I kind of knew Jackie before we started. Cause we went to the same church. So yeah.
That's cool. That's very cool.
Yeah. So Paulette, what the best learning experience you get from Meadowbrook?
You know, it's the leadership opportunities that I think that I got there that most prepare me for life in the future. Just dealing with people and, you know, negotiating with people and yeah, that the leadership
So
opportunity.
give me an example of that, or how that stand out to you. Give me an example of how that manifests itself to your Paulette, where you remember
Well, you know, when you're a head girl,
saying.
you kind of sometimes you have to kind of help work with a prefect sometimes to figure out a solution to a problem. And also even more with ISCF, because even though we had a sponsor, we basically ran the thing ourselves. And so there, you know, we learn to work with one another because we all kind of come from different backgrounds and we have different perspectives on faith, and to kind of work together and create an organization that was so impactful. It required a lot of you know, understanding and listening to people and trying to make people know that, you know, their voice is heard and all that. So yeah, those kind of opportunities prepare me for what I do today, for sure. For sure. Yeah.
Good. Eartha, the same question to you. What the best learning experience you got from attending Meadowbrook?
I listened to a podcast the other day with Mr. Dean. He said that what he realized is that there are students who learn at different levels, and some people are late starter. And I learned that about myself. I would be considered one of those late starters. So Meadowbrook set the stage for me. I see different things I do, the different people I work with. It provided the background for me to be who I am today. Strong, independent woman, a woman who is able to I remember leaving Meadowbrook and going to Exed Community College. And at Meadowbrook, I would not be considered a bright student. But when I finished Exed, I was considered bright. I did great. I was one of those late bloomers. And even after that, when I came to Maryland and I did my first degree, at the end of the first degree, University of Maryland asked me to help other students write their paper. I wasn't good at school at that. I was not. Meadowbrook set the stage, and I just went there from then, and I'm glad. That is what I got from Meadowbrook.
Yeah. It laid a foundation that is like it. I never have no good you were until you leave Meadowbrook. That's what you're saying.
I did not know I was a late bloomer. I came into my own after I left Meadowbrook, but I owe it all to Meadowbrook.
And by the way, and when Meadowbrook chose you, did you have any regrets at all that you never got to them big school, eh?
No, no regrets.
Okay.
No regrets whatsoever.
Nice. So, Paulette, back to you now. What life lesson you learn at Meadowbrook you pass on to your friends and family?
You know what? I think the enduring nature of the friendships I made at Meadowbrook, like when my own children were growing up, um, they saw it, because they'd hear me talking to my friends, and they said, "That's somebody from high school, and you're still friends." And I think just the enduring friendship, and how friendships that you make early in your life can help shape your life. Yeah, that I pass on and share all the time. And I know it. Everybody doesn't have that experience. So sometimes when I talk about it, people are amazed because it's not just one friend. You know what I mean?
Group of
And
friends.
I
wherever we drop, anywhere if we meet each other, if we don't talk for years and then we talk after that, it's like we're right back in with closeness. So
you,
that's it.
you're mentioning something that in a part is very important because when I started this conversation, I start them mainly out of cricket as in a year. And no, because when we play cricket together, I think say, we just come talk about cricket and when the cricketer them don't talk, we can done the conversation. But I realize Meadowbrook, a girl came on, and she helped me get a whole heap of females. Margaret Livermore, going to call her name. And she said
Mm.
the same exact thing like you. She said she had a sister go to Alpha, I think, and another school. And she said her sister look at her and said she can't understand all Meadowbrook people meet. We don't have to talk so much about her when she talk to them. So it's the same thing I talk about in the part. It's almost like a certain something special about Meadowbrook where the friendship where you grow, where you know, and some Meadowbrook, whether you play cricket like me or in the ISF
Yeah,
like it's a lifetime thing. It's a
Yes.
true
lifetime
that.
thing. It's a lifetime, and it's like it don't look like in the school. Well, I'm not aware right because she talking about her sister go to Alpha and them don't have that same sort of connection what we have at all. They don't. They don't. So you mentioned something like you are a different age from Margaret, and it's the same
Hmm.
feeling she have. It's the same exact
Yeah.
feeling she have. Same exact feeling. So I can identify. But I thought I could identify it because I play cricket and we do good at cricket. And I say, all right, if you do good, you gotta remember them things and all them. But it's more than just that. It's more than cricket as them would have say. It's much more
Yeah.
than sports. It's something true Meadowbrook at the time, Paulette, and you confirm where other people are say. Confirm what other people say. So Eartha, life lesson you learn at Meadowbrook, you pass on to your friends and family.
It's all about friendship. I tell people that I don't need any new friends. I
Mm,
don't need new friends because the ones I have, I've proven over time and time again that they're my true friend. I can take up the phone at any time, call any one of my friends from Meadowbrook, and they're there to help me. And if they can't, they'll direct me where I can get the help. And it's not just help; it's just talking. Just I can talk to Paulette, I can talk to Roxanne, I can talk to Cardine, and I can be my authentic self. I don't have to pretend to be someone else.
mm-hmm,
And there's no judgment.
mm-hmm,
There's no saying the IT tighty or she this. They just accept me for who I am, which is what you see is what you get.
mm-hmm,
And, and I tell people if you can create such friendship, if you can find such friendship, you have found a good thing.
mm-hmm, mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Oral, you have any comment on what Paulette and Eartha said? Where him gone? I wonder if him drop off. Oral? Him on mute. Okay.
I'm here.
Yeah, go ahead. You have any comment on what Paulette and Eartha said?
No, I listened attentively, and I think that they have given a very good account of their stewardship at the time when they went to Meadowbrook. And I could align myself with a lot of some of the things that they've been saying. Of course, I was like two forms down when Paulette was head girl. I may have been in fourth form, I believe, at the time. So I'm quite familiar with some of the experiences that both herself and Earth are sharing.
Mm-hmm. I just want to know if you had any comment on that oral. So,
No, no. But more than it, they are just memorable comments, things that I remember quite a bit.
all right. So, Paulette, another question for you. Message you have to existing students, or teachers, or future students at Meadowbrook who might be listening to this in conversation today, next year or 10 years time. So you're giving out a message to the future then. What you going to tell the student or teachers at Meadowbrook?
You know, cherish your life at school. Don't just see it as a place to pass through, get over, and get out. You know, it will be memorable years for you, not just in terms of your academic achievement, but all the interpersonal skills that you develop, the leadership opportunities you get. All of those things feed into what you will become in the future. But you can't just see them as a means to the future. Kind of live in the moment and enjoy it, because you know it will be, if you make the best of it, some of the best years of your life for sure. You know, try and build some solid friendships and take advantage of every extracurricular opportunity you get to build your interpersonal skills, because those soft skills are really the secret to your success. You know, it's not just about the grades and the exam results, because a lot of people have grades and exam results and can't hold down a job because they don't know how to deal with people.
Yeah. And
But you know, in your school life, you get opportunities to build those soft skills. And as Eartha said, speaking to the teachers, is to remember that you're not just academically qualifying kids. You know, you're giving them life lessons like the ones that Eartha mentioned, Mrs. Morris gave, and all the teachers that pay attention, and to the teachers to continue to pay attention to the children, because you don't know what seeds you're planting when you help out a little youth who feel invisible and like feel like nobody don't understand how the pain they're in, you know.
yeah, man.
So,
I help in on that. And you mentioned something there, Paulette, where I remember before I started Meadowbrook, because like you, my siblings then went to Meadowbrook, not as much as yours. And my sister used to come home and tell me, say, she remember Miss McLennan looking at a girl or a boy one day. We're just sitting here and she was just there castigating, and I say, you're just there sitting. You're just there doing nothing. It's like she said, you don't come to Meadowbrook to be a furniture. You have to be something. You don't, and just like what you're saying, it's not about just say you come to get grades or upon your own. It's like you come Meadowbrook for what you can do for Meadowbrook, man. Not what Meadowbrook can do for you. And that is and if you have that attitude, trust me, you go better off in a life, man. You come, man, because Meadowbrook allow, as the motto say, and I don't know the Latin, so don't ask me. I just know it said the English. Let your light so shine.
Ita splendiet lux vestra. Yes.
As you know, Spanish or Latin was my subject at all. Don't worry. I know you heard that story.
I'm with you.
But I know Eartha and Paulette will correct me, so don't worry.
No, not me. I can't tell.
Not Eartha, I mean Paulette and Oral. Sorry. Not Eartha, right?
Not me. Myself and Eartha are on the same side.
All right, so you, Eartha, what message you have to existing students or future students or any staff member who might come at Meadowbrook or will be coming at Meadowbrook? What message you have for them?
For the staff members, treat every child with dignity. It does not matter where they're from. Each child has something to contribute, and each child is capable of learning. They may not be the first in the class. They probably is last all the time, but give them the opportunity to feel as if they can do it. One of the most important thing for a child is to feel and to know that somebody think they can do it. Because somewhere along the line, that seed that you plant, it is going to come back. That child is going to be able to achieve. That child is going to be doing good because you planted that seed. To the students, take every opportunity. You may not be good at maths. try the maths. Just try, give it a try. And the things that you're good at, do the best you can. Build friendship, build relationship, network, enjoy everything that the school has to offer. And there's a lot to offer.
Mm-hmm. That is true, Eartha. Well said.
Wonderful. Well said. Yes, yes.
Well, that is true. That is true. Well, I only have a couple more questions to ask. Two. I mean, before I ask the last two questions, let me ask. Well, me ask this question and then me ask. In your mind, Paulette. No, not in your. This is a different question. This. What is the most memorable thing you remember? What's the most memorable occasion you remember from Meadowbrook for you personally? What do you remember most about Meadowbrook? I wonder if she gone. Paulette?
No,
Paulette?
sorry about that. I put myself on mute and didn't realize.
Yeah. What your most memorable thing you remember from Meadowbrook?
Yeah, the best memory, as I said earlier, was some of the best memories was the plays that we, and especially that one that went to Little Theatre. That was the highlight, I think, of my time at Meadowbrook.
Okay.
Remember what the play named Eartha?
You know, Paul, I was in that play. I was thinking of the one that we that Cheryl Hyatt was in, myself, and we went to Little Theatre and perform it, and we did so well that they asked us to come back the next night.
Yeah, which one?
It was that little teacher. He used to be oh my God, he was used to be an actor at Little Theatre. Very big guy.
Can't
Do you
remember that
remember
one.
him, Bester?
No, I don't remember him.
He used to come in just to direct
Just for the play.
Yes.
What teacher came? I don't remember.
You were in Paulette, but Cheryl Hyatt, I had a one line. Or it was two. It was two lines, but I was so proud to be a part of it.
Was Archibald Hilton in it?
No, I never did anything with Archibald. It's before. It was the last. I think it was in fifth form.
Oh, and I must have gone. Yeah. Or
so you were there. You were in the play. What was the name of it? Mrs. Morris was very much in that play.
Yeah.
After we finish here, I'm going to send both on the 2 yearbooks I have, which might help on the jargon. One when we just started Eartha in 74 and 79, 80. I'm going to send I have them on my phone. I will send them both of them to you. Yeah, I have that here on my phone. I will send it to you after we finish the conversation. To both you and Paulette. I will send it to you. Yeah.
No worries. Yeah.
So Eartha, the same question to you now. Your biggest memory from Meadowbrook. What you take from Meadowbrook?
You know, one of my biggest memories, it's funny, I cannot sing. I cannot, not a note. But I have some of the most fabulous friends who always want to make me feel like I'm good. Funny to remember. We would go into assembly. The ICF group would perform. And they put me in the group. But I had to be at the back of the group where the mic cannot hit me. And funny, it's a small thing, but it meant the world to me. Because there I was singing in front of the group. Anybody who know me know I can't sing. Not a note. What I talked about, how fabulous my friends were. They made me feel good about me. Yeah. And a small gesture. I really shouldn't have gone there. I really shouldn't have gone there. What's that, Paulette?
I don't know. You're echoing.
You're echoing. I don't know what echoing. Yeah. Go ahead, Eartha. Try again.
Hold on, let me. Hello?
Yeah, man,
can you hear me?
Better, yeah, much better, Eartha, yeah.
No, I was telling about the memory of how the ICF group would perform. From time to time, they asked us to lead the assemble, and they would plan a song, and I cannot sing, not for the life of me, but my friends would make me be a part of the group, but they make sure that I was at the back of the crowd where the mic could not hit me, because I would have thrown out everybody. But that's what was how they made you feel so good. They build on you. They gave you that confidence, even though you know at the back of your mind you really shouldn't be there. You cannot sing. I cannot sing. Right, Paulette?
Yeah,
Yep.
you're a little bit tone deaf,
Yeah.
but that's
A
okay.
little bit? A little bit? That's a very kind statement.
Well, she threw off the beat, Paulette. She threw off the tune.
All the time.
And she don't know when she off.
No.
She don't know.
I hear you. Yes. All right, let me ask you, this is not even a question, but this is, before I ask the last question, and this is for all on, including oral. But I'm going to start with you first, Paulette. Is there any question or topic you'd like comment on that I did not ask? Because sometimes a lot of people come on these conversations, and when them leave, the next man, them call me and say, boy, Jelly, you know, so I forget to tell you this. Is there anything, the floor is yours, anything you want to talk about, what we never talk about, or any question we never ask, you want to answer? The floor is yours.
I can't really think of anything, I can't really think of anything right now about you, Eartha.
No, I think we did quite a bit. We talked about, Meadowbrook overall was a nurturing school. You felt like you belonged there. And you know that you had some families or some children who were from rich. One girl that I remember, you talked about first, Michelle Stewart. That was her name?
Yes.
Michelle was one of the kindest, nicest person I knew.
Yeah, she was in the A stream. I know you're talking about. And she had two younger brothers, Dave and...
Two younger brothers. And oh God, I'm looking at him now.
Yeah,
she was so kind. She was so humble. And yet I think Michelle came from means. I don't know for sure. But she never made me... She was always so classy. And Karen McGregor also.
Yeah, she lived just across the street from the school.
Across the street. Very nice person.
Yeah, Peter Gay and what's her sister's name? They were very nice to me too.
What's the last name? What's the last name, Paulette?
Peter Gay. What's Peter Gay last name, Eartha?
Oh,
there
my
were two
Jesus.
of them.
There's two of them. Oh, it's in my phone, but I don't remember it.
Yeah.
Peter
Gay. Anyway.
Her sister had the one I know had the big afro. She
big
had a big afro.
Big, soft afro. Yeah.
You're talking about
girl.
Fort?
Yes, the Fort.
Yeah, man. Yeah, I just say afro. I remember that, man. The biggest of the soul afros. Yes.
Yes. And also the Thames sisters, Minerva and her sister.
And Jennifer. Yeah.
Good people.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
I think one of the things about Meadowbrook, maybe why it had such a family feel, is because we didn't have any big reputation as a high school back then. We weren't on the national scene as necessarily sports champions at the top, or even say schools challenge, all the things that those mainline high schools
and the reputation, the brand name thing them. Yeah.
So when you're not about the brand name, you kind of keep it more real
and
more genuine and more authentic. So I think that was it.
Yeah, that never part of the total product. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Like you came into an environment where it's like it was more fun than say I try to prove anything. You come to enjoy yourself. Yeah.
Absolutely. And even when we go, and even though we come for fun, when our team are playing Manning Cup and all of that, no school no louder than we.
No, exactly.
Paulette was one of the loudest.
Man.
I will tell you that.
Exactly.
All when we're losing. Paulette would be screaming out at the top of her voice.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely. We love our team, them, and because they're our friends,
Yeah. I go for say co-worker, but your fellow students, yes.
And they weren't like no big celebrity.
No, you know them, you touch them. It's like them from a school. Yes. It was like one place, man. Nobody was different at all, man. Nobody was different at all.
Yeah.
So, all right, before I ask Paulette and Eartha the last question, Any questions on the topic where you like ask that you didn't think I bring up at all?
Boy, I think you did a wonderful job tonight, you know. To be honest, Prince, you have done a comprehensive um, set of conversations that covered a wide ranging area. So I believe that you did well. You know, honestly, I would be able to close a gap that you might not close, but I can't close anything because you have done so well.
Mm.
That's me debating adversary about me up for close me down. Is that right?
I'm going to the world, my friend. I can't live because I am on tonight, Prince.
Mm.
Anyway, what so the last question, you know, this is the last question I ask everybody, you know. And I'm going to start with you, Paulette. What made Meadowbrook magical?
Yeah, the intimacy of the place, the community feel of the place, the diversity of the school, you know. As Eartha was intimating a while ago, you had very upper class rich kids mixing with poor kids, and I don't remember people just associated with their group and nobody else. You know what I mean? You know, the poor kids visit the rich kid house and hang out and whatever. But yeah, the intimacy and the community and the diversity of it is what I think made it a magical place for me. I remember an incident which was quite magical in a different way. As I talk about the Thames sisters, somebody in my class figured out some pressure point on the neck where if you touch people and just hold your hand there, don't squeeze it, just hold your hand there, they'll pass out. And so everybody was doing it to the classroom, and the office got wind of it and came in there and shut it down. It was actually quite a little bit scary, but yeah, that's magic of a more negative and a more negative vibe. I remember that just passing out. But you know, the closeness and the intimacy and the diversity of the place, I think, is what made it magical.
Yeah, and you think where the school is located, and I will if you do it in terms of say between two communities, almost like Meadowbrook was hidden in it, like a hidden gem.
Yeah, for sure. Almost like at the end of some. Almost felt like you were at the end of some place, right?
Yeah, man. Yes. Yeah. That's what I felt too. You go there, it's like it's unless you're lost, you know the reason to come to Meadowbrook.
It's true.
Nobody, you're not driving past to come to Meadowbrook at all. You drive through. You have to be,
Yeah.
you have to belong there. Are you
Yeah.
lost? Are you lost? And when somebody come there lost, we know them lost, cause the motor place. So yeah. So you, Eartha, what made Meadowbrook magical?
Meadowbrook was a perfect melting pot for me. With Meadowbrook, I found a community that I felt I was a part of. I belong. And when one feel like they belong, then you learn to participate, to develop, to grow. And for me, that was Meadowbrook. Meadowbrook was the perfect, it's as if it was perfectly planned, perfectly placed. It was all a part of that divine plan. And for me, that's what it provided.
And you're not the first person who said that in Eartha. There's a girl who used to live by the bottom field, and she actually gave her address as bottom field. Yolande Henry was her name at school. I think she married him Donaldson. I forgot out her name. Yolande Henry Donaldson. And the same way she described it and asked her the question, it was like divine intervention. Meadowbrook, it was. It's the same feeling, just like how you put it, Eartha. That's why I remember telling you what she said. I don't know if you heard her conversation. It was the same thing she said. Same word to you.
It's just magical. I talk about Meadowbrook every day. There's not a day that Meadowbrook is not a part of it. In fact, I talked to my sons. I said, "Are you in touch with such and such a person?" "Oh, I haven't spoken." I said, "You see, that's so different from me." I said, "I'm still in touch with my friends." It's different. It's a different dynamics.
Yeah, man. Yeah. I just you and us don't talk for 40 years and we come here and talk for 2 hours in a conversation and it's like a nothing. Like I talk with
Where else could you find that? Where else could you find
the
that?
memory we talk about. Exactly, Eartha. Exactly.
After
Exactly. So any closing remarks, oral, any closing remarks before I close this out?
I just want to really thank these two very lovely ladies for coming on tonight. I don't know Eartha much, but I heard the name. But Paulette Samuels is somebody who I know well, possibly because I know the family, the wider family pretty well. But it's a really good conversation tonight, and Eartha, I look forward to our connection to make that link with Miss Blake when you get into
Yes.
Kingston, whenever that is.
Hmm.
Um, I look forward to seeing you in Jamaica sometime.
I will be there. I don't know when.
It's still not as bad as you might hear. I
I'm not.
could
I'm
hardly,
not worried about that. I'm
I
not
could,
worried
I,
about that.
yes, I could hardly get Prince to come into Jamaica for summer for the Meadowbrook link up, but that's it. That's we know.
I came 1 year for
Homecoming.
yes, I
No.
did. I came 1 year. Yeah.
Yeah, Eartha and I were there the same year, I believe.
Yes.
I've never been to one of them. One of these years I have to come to oral.
I enjoyed. Actually, I went and they didn't have anybody to run for ward, and I ran, and that of course
Yeah.
I lose the race, and then they wanted to do sack race. I've never done sack. I fell down. My son was so embarrassed for me.
Yes.
He was like, "Mom, why did you do it?" I'm like, "It's fun.
It's
I'm
fun. All in
okay."
the spirit of Meadowbrook, Eartha. Exactly. Wouldn't understand. All in the spirit of
No,
Meadowbrook.
he did not understand. He was so embarrassed. He said, "Mom, remember when you went to school and you raced and you fell down?" I said, "Good, and I had a great time."
Exactly.
And you must have heard that sometime, I think early 2018, we had this dinner for a dinner dance for some of our past teachers
Okay.
who are, you remember that occasion, Prince? I don't know
No,
if at the
oral.
Spanish
As I say, until this year I've been out of touch with Meadowbrook thing, and it's only since
Mm,
I started back doing this thing in January that
this one. Okay, all right.
I kind of
That was a
yeah, no,
really
I've
time.
not. For most of the thing for the last 20 years oral since I've been living here, I've been. I know it go family commitment
Yeah,
and
I
distraction.
know it.
It
I know it.
just you have to take care of certain thing, but because I
Yeah.
have the time now, we're not really the time. I just inspiration is what drive me to come to this, and it
A good idea. I really enjoy it. I
mm-hmm,
have most of the podcast. I have listened to them and I enjoyed it. Sometimes I'm just sitting here laughing. I'm like, "That's crazy."
I really hope that you keep it up, Prince,
yeah, man.
because it can be challenging at times, but we hope that you can continue
No,
doing
man,
this.
I enjoy it, world. Trust me. Nothing. I enjoy it more than talking about Meadowbrook and talking to old friends and just. I enjoy the conversation. I do. I do enjoy the conversation. So, Eartha, you have any closing remarks?
Nothing much, but I enjoyed the process also. It was nice looking back and bringing back memories. I'm sure I'm going to be laying in my bed tonight laughing out loud.
Yeah.
Just some of the
Yeah,
things
yeah,
that I remember.
yeah. And you, Paulette, any closing remarks?
No, I just encourage you to keep doing what you're doing. I'm sure that it accomplishes things. Even if thinking about how Eartha and a few of us were talking about Miss Blake, and we now find the link up. So
Mm-hmm.
you'd be surprised to know what you're doing something and you think you're just doing it for one purpose, and then God
It's
uses
something
it.
else, right.
Yeah.
Something else intervene and a connection made for reach out to somebody who would need some
Right.
assistance. That is, no, I'm glad for
Absolutely.
that. I'm glad for that. I'm hopefully, not hopefully, I know that will happen because once Oral committed, I know that will happen, and Eartha committed, so I know.
In fact, it's not just me. We are all committed. The others in the group, my friends, we have been talking about this for
Yeah,
years
man.
now. So once we go back and we tell them that we're going to have a hookup, something is going to
Yeah,
happen.
man. Yeah, I know
Absolutely.
that, and that is good. That's what it's all about. Just remember the Meadowbrook family, them And not all of us in a good stead, you know. And so some of us need assistance with another. So that's excellent oral that this come about tonight, where you can try and get it. Water can try and get in touch with Miss Blake. That is good.
Yeah,
That is
that's
wonderful.
what happened.
That's wonderful news. Anyway, Eartha
Yes.
Bogie-Samuels, and she's not married to a Samuel, make I declare that. And, and Paulette Samuels Brown, not related to the Brown that our sister name. That
No,
we could clear up that as well. I'm a good friend, Oral Shah. This is a wonderful, wonderful conversation. I'm happy all I want to take the time out and come join this conversation. And God bless all I want for come and join it and just share the memories. And I love this. I love this, you know. So anyway, I was sending the magazines to both you and Paulette, Eartha.
All right. Thank you very much.
75
Thank
and
you.
79 magazine. I know both are not supposed to be in those two magazines. I was sending both of
Yeah,
them to
for
her.
sure.
Yeah, man.
For sure. Appreciate it.
Yeah,
No
man, yeah,
problem.
man.
Thank you. Thank you.
Take care.
And have a good
Bye-bye.
night. Good night to all.
You
and-
too.
Yeah.
Bye bye.
All right,
Bye-bye.
God bless. Yeah, man. Cool.
God bless.
Thanks for listening to Meadowbrook Memories. And remember to give us all the support and encouragement you can on whatever social media platform you are listening. And special thanks to my production manager, Kyle Prince, who takes care of everything involved in getting the podcast out every week. And without him, this podcast would not be possible. It is his expertise that allows me to do what I love doing every week, having great conversations about Meadowbrook Memories, and he's responsible for everything else. So again, thanks to my production manager, Kyle Prince.